When you turned on the dial on Charleston Morning Radio many years ago, many names stood out. Tessa and Baby J, TJ and the Gang, and of course, two girls and a guy. I had a chance to talk with Brooke Ryan for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. Brooke, you know, I've been trying to get you for months.
You have, yes.
And now here we are.
I know, it's good to be here.
Yeah, how do you like coming back to Charleston?
It is, you know, this is my favorite place in the entire world.
Yes.
I love this place. I wasn't born here, I wasn't raised here. I lived here for 5 years and I consider it my home because they say home is where your heart is.
Yes.
My heart is absolutely in Charleston, South Carolina.
That's awesome. And since you left, you know when there change that happened at 95 SX with two girls and a guy in the morning, Tanya Brown and Mike the guy are out, and the new team is in.
Yes.
You worked with those two for many years.
I did.
Can you share with me your memories of working with them?
Absolutely. Tanya Brown is my second mom. She is one of my best friends. She's my heart and soul. I love her so much. She's so funny. We have plenty of good, bad, and indifferent memories. Mike is seriously one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet in your entire life. And I don't laugh at a lot of things. I don't think a lot of things are funny. I don't, like, comedians aren't my thing.
Okay.
But Mike is one of those guys, you sit with him for a half a second and he will just have you busting up. Once you get inside his, you know, once you get out of the awkward few minutes,
right.
It's hilarious. I love them. I love them so much.
I bet you do. And the last time we were talking, you told me that you were going to California for your birthday.
I was, yes.
Last month.
The big 30.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, 30. It's
really?
great. Yeah.
Tell me, I mean, how old was your birthday?
It was wonderful. We went, at 30 years old, I'm still a big kid. And even though, I mean, it's no secret, I love my booze and I love my having a good time.
Yes.
But I also love Disneyland more than anything. So that's where we went for my 30th birthday, to Disneyland, yeah.
That's awesome.
And went and spent a week with my family in Bakersfield and just kind of hung out by the pool and drank beer and saw some old friends. It was great.
And speaking of which, Bakersfield is your home.
Yes.
Talk to me about you growing up there.
It is a, you know, it's considered the armpit of California. And it's one of those places that everybody else that talks trash about it, I get mad and I defend it. But
yes.
I mean, look, it's not somewhere that I still would like to be.
Yes.
I love it because it's my home. It was a great place to raise children. It's great if that's what you want in your life. Like, it is the perfect place to do it because you have everything. It's 2 hours from the beach, 2 hours from the mountains.
Right.
I mean, it's 2 hours from Disneyland, so you can't beat that. But yeah, it's good. It's a good place.
And let's talk about you going to Stockdale High School.
I did, SHS. What prom queen? Yeah, 2001.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, were you like the academic student or the most popular person on campus?
I did well in school. I did well, but I didn't love it. I mean, I didn't go to college. That was not my thing.
Okay.
I was involved in every social activity there was, from drama to choir to, you know, doing cheerleading and ASB, so student government.
Yes.
I was doing it all. I did it all.
Wow.
Yeah.
And from, you know, when a lot of, 18-year-olds are going off to college or having fun, you actually wanted to jump into the radio business.
Yeah, I fell into it. It was a part-time job. I was going to the junior college in my hometown.
Yes.
And my parents said that I had to get a job. They were like, we don't care where you work, McDonald's, whatever, get a job. You're still living here, but you need to, you know, do something. So I ended up getting a job at a radio station. A friend of mine worked there, and I was doing everything from filing CDs to, you know, just kind of helping out wherever they needed it. And then they noticed that I talked a lot, and they said, one day I was complaining about a Britney Spears song and how we weren't playing it. And my boss was like, could you get out of my office and just go, have Lauren show you how to work the mic and do everything so you can be on the air. I was like, but how about that Britney Spears song?
And speaking of which, I heard it, you actually found your voice and personality in Bakersfield.
I did, yeah. I was doing overnights, and this is one of those things that I try to tell everybody that gets into radio.
Okay.
If you get the opportunity to do overnights, do them.
Okay.
Don't stay there for long because, number one, it's exhausting and you're not up when people are awake and whatever. But as for finding who I was as a personality, I was able to do it so much quicker than I think a lot of people get to do because I wasn't afraid of my boss calling me on the hotline because I did something wrong. I wasn't afraid of messing up because in my eyes, nobody was listening. You know?
Yes.
And so it was really the time that I got to just play around and figure out who I wanted to be and follow, that sort of my own formula as opposed to what everybody else wanted me to be, and it really, I think it helped.
Yes.
But after 8 months, I was ready to
get out of there.
Get out. Yeah.
And from California to Knoxville, tell me what was so attractive about the East Coast?
I didn't even know where Knoxville was when I took the job. It was about my career at that point. I had never really I mean, we'd gone on family vacations and things, but I'd never really been to the South. And I was like, you know what? If this is really what I want to do, I was 20 years old, and I was kind of figuring out whether I wanted to go back to school and actually go to, you know, college and do it, or if I wanted to really pursue this radio career. And I was like, you know, I'm young, I can go out there, and if I mess up, I can always go back to school or go back home or whatever I need to do. And so I just kind of took that leap of faith, and then I ended up loving it. I'm a Vols fan. Go Tennessee Volunteers. I loved every minute of being there.
And you know, I read too that your parents weren't really too on board with your radio plans.
Not at first, no. My dad went to school for everything. I mean, he's got a law degree that he doesn't use. He loves school.
Yes.
And so for him, it was really tough because he wanted me to kind of follow in those footsteps and do what you're supposed to do. You go to school, you go to college, you get a degree, and you do all of that. And that wasn't my path. And it wasn't until I moved here and he saw what I was doing here that he was like, I got to step back and say, you know, good job. This is what you want to do. He always supported me. It wasn't like that. I mean, but he just didn't understand it. And then once he saw me in my element in the studio with Tanya and Mike, when he saw, you know, me hosting an event here and doing things, he was like, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
And let's continue to walk down memory lane, because you actually landed in Charleston because you have an interesting story to tell.
Which part? Which one?
I heard that you actually were let go and then you were brought back.
No, that didn't happen. Your sources are wrong. No, I was actually, I know what you're, yes, I know what you're talking about now. We were in Tennessee, and our station was they
changed
formats, did the whole blow up thing, and then started a new one, and it was hard. It was really hard that Friday. And so Monday, I got called into my boss's office, because, I mean, I was 21 years old. Of course I was crying. I was like, I'm thousands of miles away. I don't know what I'm going to do. And so my boss was like, just come back on Monday. It's going to be fine. And they ended up offering me a job on the AAA station. So it was good, but it wasn't my format. I wanted to talk about Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. It's when they were super popular, and I didn't get to because we were playing like Fish and Dave Matthews and things like that, and people didn't want to hear about it. The Olsen twins. Right. So, you know, my boss was just like, hey, look, you know, we have big plans for you in this company, so if you could just hold off, it's better to have this on your resume, and it's easier to find a job when you have a job. And then I got the call saying, would you like to come and audition in Charleston and try it out? And I did, and I said, yes, absolutely.
And, you know, you spent 5 years here. I mean, I'm wondering, what on-air memories do you have? Because you've done a lot.
You know, one of the most fun things that I did on the air here was the Bill Murray quest.
Oh, yes.
I love Bill Murray, and
I saw him a couple months ago.
Oh, God, I love him so much. He's such an awesome guy.
Yes, he is.
And I was like, you know what, I really want to meet him. And I hadn't met him, I haven't run into him. And of course, everybody in Charleston has a Bill Murray story. And I was like, I love him, and I still haven't met him. What is going on? So I decided to go on this quest to find him, and it was incredible. Not only how much fun it was to try to literally like chase him down. It was like, I was stalkerish. I should have gone to jail. But it was great to see the amount of support and help that we got from the listeners and from everybody. I mean, they were calling in with all kinds of information, like, this is where he gets his coffee. I know where he lives. The person that works for people that carry letters, I'm not going to say exactly who they were, but called and was like, I can't tell you where his address is, but I can tell you it's between this house and this house on Isle of Palms. I'm like, okay, I won't tell anybody, it's fine. You know, I never, for the record, I never went to his house. But it was so much fun. And then finally, I'd given up. It was like, I said on Sunday I was going to go, and I went out to the River Dogs game, and I stood on the mound, and it was going to be like the never been kissed moment, and hopefully he was going to show up. And I talked to Mike Beck, and I talked to all these people, and it was possibly going to happen, and he couldn't make it for whatever reason. So I was like, all right, well, it is what it is. It's time to give it up. Sure enough, that Sunday, the next Sunday, I was doing a Daughtry meet and greet with some of our listeners, and we had been out at Crave in Mount Pleasant having brunch, and I got a call saying, Bill Murray is at the Sister Hazel show at the Windjammer right now. Get here. And I was like, okay, let's go. And so I hopped in the car, we ran over to Windjammer, and literally as I was walking in, he was walking out. And I wasn't ready for it, which is exactly how it needed to be. Because otherwise I would have been like,
exactly.
But instead it was more just like, hey, Bill Murray. And he was like, yes. And he told me he loved my shoes. And it was awesome. And we said, you know, we talked for probably 30 seconds, and then I let him go on his way, but because it would have been creepy because I held his hand the entire time, but it was fine.
And let's fast forward to October 2010. I mean, Charleston was really a buzz when, you were a part of the search for being a part of the Women for Radio search on live with Regis and Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
But your bosses at the time were considering you for something bigger.
They were. I got called into my boss's office, and I thought it was going to be about the Regis and Kelly thing. And so Mike, Mr. Prankster, walks me down the hall, and he was like, just so you know, this is about your contract. And I was like, I don't want to talk about my contract today. I'm not ready for this. I am not whatever. And so I'm mad at Mike now. And we're walking down the hall, and I'm just like, I'm not signing anything. Just so you know, I'm not going to sign anything. And we sit down in the office, and I'm just like this. And sure enough, my boss at the time was like, we're not here to talk about Regis and Kelly. And I said, I know. And he was like, there's an opportunity in Washington, D.C.
Yay!
And of course, my reaction was priceless, because here I was, so angry and ready to I'm not signing anything. You can't make me do this. And then I was like, wow, this is really exciting. I mean, it's a top 10 market, and never in my career did I think that I would end up there, but it was good.
And you said this too, because Charleston is your home.
Yeah.
You said this in 2010, quote, I never fully understood the meaning of bittersweet until this opportunity presented itself. I'm wondering, how bittersweet was it to leave Charleston?
It was one of those things where I've always been very career driven, and I know this is what I want to do, and I've given up a lot in order to do it, and moved around a lot. But when you come to a place like Charleston, or you find that place in your life, it might not be Charleston, it might be your hometown, it might be whatever it is, but when you find that place that you feel 100% comfortable and yourself, and I found myself here, and I met the best people of my entire life here, and I worked with the best people to this day of my entire life here. And it was, to leave here, I knew I had to, because I knew that what I wanted, I had already reached my peak here. I had done everything that I could do here. There wasn't much more. And I was ready to move on, but I did not want to say goodbye, which is why I'm here every other weekend. So,
That's
I mean, not really, but I'm here so much.
In spirit,
Yeah, it's good. I love this city.
And I read too that you actually were handpicked for the job.
I was, yeah. I just got a call. That's how all of my jobs have worked out. I've been very, very lucky.
You were really good. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. But I got a call saying, would you be interested in this job in DC? And I was like, wait.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, I know,
okay.
right? I did.
Because I didn't apply. I didn't even have like an air check. My resume updated. I didn't have any of that stuff. But the guy had heard, Jack had heard of me, and a lot of people did, and it was just one of those things where I went up there, I met with the show, and it fit, it worked, and I went there. Yeah.
And 3 years later, that is, you actually have your own show now.
Yeah, now I'm on the afternoon with a guy named Marco, and it's great. It's been nice. I've done mornings for a very long time, and I actually get to have a normal life schedule right now. So it's good, but I miss mornings, and I will be getting back into it very soon.
And you also told a writer in 2010, quote, I want to establish myself in D.C., meet more people, and also get involved with events. As we sit here right now, do you feel like you have been established in D.C.?
Not as established as I would like to be. That's an honest answer. But I've done a lot. I'm proud of everything that I've done there, and I do a lot of work like with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, which I did here, and then to be able to go up there and work on a national level, like with their national office, and doing as many events and things with them as I've been able to do, it's been great. It was. I'm not completely established there, but you will be. But I will be.
Yes, you will.
I will.
Hey, describe to me the following in one word. The Price is Right.
Oh God, why? I got to be on The Price is Right when I was 19 or 20. And I was in contestants row the entire time. I was the second name picked.
Oh, good.
Right? So you hear your name and it's like, come on down. This is when Rod Roddy was there and Bob Barker. And I was like,
exactly.
Okay.
Starstruck.
So I was down there in contestants row.
Yes.
I got to say $1, Bob, but I never made it on stage.
Man.
So we ended up going to a second taping of the show. And of course I couldn't be on it. But my girlfriend gets picked, plays Plinko, wins $12,000. I'm like, really?
Did she share some of that money
with
you?
No. She got a mini fridge, and I wanted the mini fridge, and she didn't give it to me. I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. But it was, what a great experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
One word to describe Britney Spears.
I love her. Perfect.
Ketchup.
Delicious on everything.
Really?
I really can't do anything in one word, honestly.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I put ketchup on everything. I love ketchup.
Yeah, Brooke English.
Brooke English, that's who I'm named after.
Yes.
All my children.
Radio.
It's my passion.
Brooke Ryan.
She's a pretty badass chick.
She is.
That's
yes,
I think
you
about
are.
her.
Yes. Hey, listen, you know, we know that you love social media, traveling, radio, and of course music. But what is something else that people don't know about you?
Ooh, I really, as social as I am and as much as I love to, go out and be the party, I love to lay in my bed and watch trash TV.
Really?
It is one of my favorite things to do.
Catfish.
Housewives of anything, Catfish, exactly, I'll watch that. I mean, just, if it's something that's not mind-numbing and you can just sit there and paint your toes or read a magazine or whatever, and I love it.
And you know, we touched on this earlier, but can you describe to me who your mother and father are?
My mom is one of the strongest human beings I've ever met in my entire life. I love her so much. If I could be half the person she is, it would be great.
You get there.
And my dad is he's a man, I mean, he's a man of his word. He is completely honorable and just and he's fun too. My dad is a lot of fun. Like whenever we go on vacation and Dad's there, everybody knows Uncle Buck before they know, and his name's Neil, mind you, so it's not even Buck.
Right.
But they know Uncle Buck before they even know who I am. Like it's amazing. So.
And you know, I have a vision board at home, and I have pictures of people that I want to meet and things I want to do in the future. Can you visualize your future for me?
Well, in the short term, I see myself. I will be on mornings again very soon.
Oh, great.
Long term, I want to be a part of a really successful show, and I want to hopefully have that syndicated and have it, be big time in radio. Maybe do some TV things. I don't know.
You should.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be married.
You will.
Hopefully I'll have a house here that I just have on the side that I come and visit all the time. It's all good. Life's good.
All those things that you just said, I want that to happen for you. I really do.
Thank you.
Because you work so hard.
Thank you. And maybe like a bottle or ketchup named after me. That'd be awesome too. I really would. Side project.
No, it's all good. That'll happen too. Yeah, just visualize,
It's good.
Hey, this was great. I had fun talking to you.
I did too.
And I hope to see you in D.C. because I want to live there soon.
Well, good. All right. I hope to see you up there too.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.